Coming up on Citrus TV News live at 6, the Student Association election begins today.
Plus, John Kerry made an historic visit. We'll have all the details.
And Citrus TV reporter Jacob Reynolds takes us on a trip to the zoo.
And rain fell over the Salt City today. Citrus TV weather anchor Rebecca Castor will have your full forecast. Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Kathryn Robinson.
And I'm Josh Bazan. Polls open today for this year's Student Association election. That's where we start tonight.
The elections for the Syracuse Student Association opened up today on MySlice. The positions that students can vote for are the president and the vice president, the comptroller, and the assembly of each student's respective college. Tune in live tomorrow at 6 on OTN for Citrus TV's Student Association program, SA Today. And a Skaneateles High School senior has received admissions offers from all 8 Ivy League universities. Vincent Viego applied to 22 colleges and got into all of them. When asked about the admissions process, Viego said, quote, "I felt there was safety in numbers." His twin brother received early admission to Cornell University to study electrical engineering.
With the recent snow and low temperatures, it may not always feel like springtime. But down at the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, the staff is still welcoming new life this spring. Citrus TV reporter Jacob Reynolds has the story.
While the weather outside is frightful,
oh, the weather outside is frightful.
Down at the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, the animals are quite delightful. This spring may still be a little snowy, but the zoo staff has plenty to celebrate.
Spring always is a sign of new life here at the zoo, and we usually have penguin chicks that hatch. This season we've had 6 that have hatched between December and March.
These new chicks are Humboldt penguins. They will live here at Penguin Coast after zookeepers decide they are ready to live with other penguins and be fed by trainers instead of their parents. In the meantime, the zoo has launched a naming contest to give one of the newest male chicks a proper name. Luckily for the penguins, the cold weather here in Syracuse may seem familiar.
And even though today's weather and snowy conditions may make you want to bundle up and just head back inside, the zoo here is only closed 3 days out of the year. They say the cold weather is just part of running a zoo in Syracuse, New York.
We're open, rain, snow, sun, you name it. And actually the animals that are outside on our wildlife trails area are accustomed to this type of environment. They're used to this type of climate. They actually seem to be a little bit more active in the cold and the snowier weather as opposed to the summer when they're getting shade and resting.
And to fight the cold weather, the zoo is starting its spring break activities this month to drive up attendance. Visitors will be able to chat with zookeepers about the animals, meet some of the birds, and get a behind-the-scenes look at the zoo starting near the end of April. And a few months after that, visitors will be able to see the new penguin chicks when they visit the zoo. That is, of course, after zoo fans get a chance to name them. Our suggestion? How about Jack Frost? For Citrus TV News, I'm Jacob Reynolds.
Let it snow, let it snow.
Voting for the Penguins name ended just before our show today, but the zoo will announce the winning name tomorrow on its social media accounts. Coming up after the break, the UK Prime Minister is in the spotlight today. Find out why next.
And new revelations from the Brussels bombings. Stick around.
It was a rainy day here in Syracuse with heavy winds causing umbrellas to not be so effective. Currently it's 50 degrees with some light rain. Find out how much longer this rain will be sticking around by staying tuned to Citrus TV News for my full weather forecast.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more. Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
While Republican presidential candidates try to raise money for their campaigns, Paul Ryan has been doing some fundraising of his own.
The Speaker of the House has created the Confident America campaign, a conservative fundraising campaign.
Ryan has been traveling the country promoting his agenda, but some people are speculating that he is attempting to set himself up for a surprise presidential run.
And the FBI says that the U.S. airman who supposedly committed a murder-suicide at a Texas air base on Friday was a former FBI agent.
Sergeant Stephen Bellino is believed to have shot and killed his commanding officer William Schroeder before killing himself at the Lackland Air Base in Texas.
Military officials are calling it a workplace violence incident.
Stunning display. It is a gut-wrenching display. It tugs at all of your sensibilities as a human being. It reminds everybody of the extraordinary complexity of choices in war and of what war does to people, to communities, to countries, to the world.
That was U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry speaking about the horrors of the bombing at Hiroshima during World War II.
He is in Japan right now for a G7 meeting of foreign ministers. The Secretary of State visited the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park.
Kerry is the highest-ranking U.S. official to ever visit the site, which stands as a reminder of the 140,000 people killed when the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb on the city.
In the wake of the Panama Papers, British Prime Minister David Cameron has been backtracking from his earlier statements about his inheritance.
The leak revealed that Cameron's father, Ian, owned offshore companies to avoid taxes. In response to this, Cameron released his tax returns from the last 6 years and said that he has nothing to hide.
Syrian peace talks will continue Wednesday, though few observers are expecting much progress. This will be the first time the warring parties meet face-to-face since 2014.
A cessation of hostilities is currently in place, and a UN envoy says that the next round of talks needs to focus on a political transition to help end the 5-year-long war in Syria.
The opposition says they'll be there on time, but President Assad's people are planning to wait until Thursday to show.
And the captured ISIS terror suspect who helped carry out the attacks in Brussels says his group had planned to target the 2016 Euro Soccer Championship in France.
A computer used by two brothers involved in the attack was found in a trash can outside the group's bomb factory.
A file in the computer contained research indicating that the La Défense shopping mall and a Catholic association in Paris were also potential targets.
Well, Kathryn, the weather so far this April has just been crazy in Syracuse.
That is for sure. And will the rain or snow persist? Or are we finally ready to see some warmer weather? Rebecca Castor is here in the studio with your full forecast. Rebecca?
Thanks, Josh and Kathryn. I do have good news for everyone because warmer temperatures are on the way. This map shows that a warm front is making its way to the northeast, which will lead to a significant increase in temperatures this week. Current conditions show that New York temperatures are about 50 degrees right now. As that warm front rolls through, we're going to see temperatures increase as high as 70 degrees this weekend. But first tonight, we still have that rain to deal with. Showers are expected to continue throughout the night with a 40% chance of snow flurries as temperatures drop. Heavy rainfall is expected after midnight tonight, and more rain is set to come in tomorrow afternoon. The low for tonight is 36 degrees with a 100% chance of precipitation. Whether that precipitation will be rain or snow will depend on if temperatures get below freezing tonight. But like I said earlier, warmer temperatures are on the horizon. And taking a look at our 5-day forecast, we have a weekend filled with sunshine to look forward to. But first, tomorrow we have a high of 46 degrees with a 30% chance of afternoon showers. On Wednesday, we have a high of 50 degrees with partly cloudy skies. And Thursday, there's that sunshine coming in with a high of 57 degrees. And the sun sticking around for Friday and Saturday with high of 62 on Friday and a high of 67 on Saturday.
Well, Rebecca, we definitely love hearing about those warmer temperatures, but first we've got the rain. How much are we expecting?
All right, so we're going to expect some heavy rainfall tonight. We're not expecting a storm or anything, but we're going to have at least like under an inch tonight.
And we've seen some snow recently, but it looks like the temperatures seem to be warming up. Is the snow finally gone for the year?
I'm thinking the snow's gone. April's looking to be a pretty mild month. The temperatures are rising, so I don't think that we're going to get down under 32 degrees for snow anytime soon. If we do, it'll be late at night when you're already in bed, so you probably won't have to worry about snow showers anymore during the day.
Okay, and that's what I was going to say. Taking a look at the rest of April, are we hoping to see more of these 70-degree temperatures that we might see this weekend?
Yes, those are definitely coming up soon. The temperatures are expected to keep increasing. We're not expecting any cold fronts, so hopefully it sticks to that.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. Coming up after the break, we'll have all your health and entertainment news.
You won't want to miss it. Be sure to stick around.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point. There's smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
New research shows that while the poor in some cities live just as long as the rich, in other parts of the country, the lifespans of the poor are getting shorter. The research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association also concludes that the gap between the rich and the poor has widened from 2001 to 2014. New studies are showing links between the Zika virus and brain damage. The studies suggest Zika can damage brain cells and developing nerve cells. This comes after earlier studies showed the connection between Zika and birth defects. The WHO and CDC continue to warn travelers against going to Zika-infected areas.
General Motors has finally started winning lawsuits to resolve injuries related to their faulty ignition switches. For 2 years, the car company has been forced to pay nearly $2 billion in fines and claims, but so far in 2016, GM has won 3 of its most recent lawsuits, including a case that was dismissed Friday. And the U.S. stock market says Yahoo is worthless, but some companies are still racing to buy a piece of it. Google and Microsoft are expected to make offers in the next week, and Daily Mail and The Time are reportedly thinking of doing the same. Yahoo is now valued at $34 billion, nearly 8 times less than it was in the early 2000s.
The U.S. and Apple are at it once again in a legal battle over an iPhone. The Justice Department is trying to force Apple to unlock a drug dealer's phone in Brooklyn. But Apple has stood by its claims that unlocking one phone would set a dangerous precedent. This comes only a few weeks after the Justice Department found a way to get into the iPhone of the San Bernardino shooter. And Netflix's monthly prices will rise in May for over a third of its subscribers. And a recent survey found that 80% of them didn't see this coming. A price hike was introduced by Netflix 2 years ago, but existing customers were allowed to pay the original price up until now. Next month, they'll be paying $2 extra to stream content.
Melissa McCarthy's new film, The Boss, is holding the current box office title. Opening weekend ticket sales were higher than expected. The movie earned $23.5 million in domestic theaters, but cost $29 million to produce. Batman vs. Superman took the second-place spot in its third week in theaters. And last night was the MTV Movie Awards, and the big winner was Star Wars. The Force Awakens won 3 awards, including Movie of the Year. The millennial-based award ceremony also gave 2 awards to Deadpool and Pitch Perfect 2, and gave their annual Generation Award to Will Smith. Fans of superheroes could rejoice with DC releasing a clip from Suicide Squad, and Marvel releasing a clip from their upcoming film, Captain America: Civil War. And going from one hero to another, we have Kevin Case joining us with sports. Kevin?
Such high praise, Josh. Coming up, a men's basketball player is transferring off of the hill. Plus, SU men's lacrosse may have a new starting goalie. Our own KJ Vaughn tells us all about it. Don't change that channel. Sports, up next.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
SU men's basketball point guard reportedly transferring out of Jim Boeheim's program. Good evening, I'm Kevin Case. Sophomore Caleb Joseph came to Syracuse as a highly touted 4-star recruit. Now reports say he is leaving the Hill and heading out west. According to ESPN, the New Hampshire native is transferring to Creighton University in Nebraska. After starting 30 games during his freshman season, Joseph fell out of favor with head coach Jim Boeheim. The 6'3" guard didn't start any games in his sophomore campaign and played just 6 minutes per contest. Joseph will be forced to sit out a season before suiting up for the Blue Jays in the fall of 2017. There was a trio of SU women's sports teams on the road this weekend. We begin with women's lacrosse. Gary Gates gals traveled down to Blacksburg, Virginia to take on Virginia Tech. The Lady Orange was in search of its 3rd straight ACC win, and it would find it against the Hokies. Syracuse absolutely slams Virginia Tech 19-5. The 19 goals were a season high for the Cuse. Ryla Donahue led all scorers with 4 goals and 1 assist, but overall the SU offense employed a balanced attack as 12 different scores hit the back of the net. The Lady Orange is back in action tomorrow night when it takes on Albany at 3 p.m. In other SU women's sports action, Cuse softball and Cuse tennis had good weekends. Out on the diamond, SU softball was down in Charlottesville to take on Virginia. The Orange took 2 of 3 games from the Cavaliers and is now 19-17 on the year. SU Tennis also had a couple of matches, and hey, they won both as well. On Friday, the Cuse took down Pittsburgh in the Steel City, and on Sunday, it won at Louisville. Eunice Liebmann's team has now won 4 straight matches. Moving on to men's lacrosse now, where John Desko's team just might have a goalie controversy. Last week, Coach Desko benched starting goalie Warren Hill and played Evan Malloy in net against Hobart. The redshirt junior delivered a 13-6 win over the Statesmen. Our own KJ Vaughn has more on the goalie switch-up.
With Syracuse having a down year, Coach John Desko has switched things up, starting redshirt junior Evan Malloy in net over senior Warren Hill. Let's hear what the team had to say.
I wasn't really expecting it. I know I was playing well, and I know that they have confidence in me, so I wasn't exactly surprised, but I didn't think that they were going to go with the goalie switch, but I mean they did, and they gave me the opportunity.
Playing in front of Evan's it's like energy. It's like every time we play good defense, he'll be like hurry up boys, let's go, good D, he'll pump us up. And honestly, as a defense, I think that's what we've been lacking the past couple weeks is energy, really. So hopefully he can provide something for us and get us some momentum going forward here.
He's always been very vocal. I think he's got good friends on the team. Again, 4 years of experience with the group, and I think he approaches each day, pretty similarly. And now that he's starting, it's I'm sure there's a little bit more to it, but that's more game situation that has been showing in practice.
For Citrus TV, I'm KJ Vaughn.
Next up for the men's lacrosse team is a Tuesday night matchup with in-state rival Cornell. The Big Red has had a tough start to the season thus far. It comes into tomorrow's game with an overall record of just 4-5. Last season when these two teams met, the Orange crushed the Big Red 14-6 in the Carrier Dome. For in-game updates of tomorrow's game, be sure to follow @CitrusTV Sports on Twitter. And in the NHL, the regular season came to a close yesterday, so it's time to get ready for some playoff hockey. This season, New Yorkers get a double dose of postseason play. Both the Rangers and the Islanders will begin their quest for the Stanley Cup this week. The Blue Shirts begin their series against the Penguins on Wednesday. The match will mark the 3rd year in a row that these two teams will meet in the playoffs. The Rangers have won the last 2 matchups. As for the Islanders, they take on the Panthers. Florida beat the Isles in 2 of the team's 3 matchups this season. Neither team has won a playoff series, though, since 1996. And Josh, baseball season started last week. I haven't seen you since then. We're both AL East fans. My Orioles, 6-0. Your Yankees, not 6-0.
No, we're not 6-0. We're only 2.5 games behind, and it's the beginning of April. We're 6 games into the season. You're giving me a hard time already.
You got to give me what I can take, Josh. Come on. The Orioles, well, I'll take a good start to the year.
We'll talk come July. We'll see where we're at when we hit that part of the season. All right, Kevin?
Fair enough.
And switching over to Caleb Joseph, transferring, of course, playing noticeably yet less this season. This move out west, what does that mean for him?
I think it's a good move for Caleb. He clearly had trouble playing under sort of Jim Boeheim's system, but he was a really good high school player. I think he could find success out at Creighton. Creighton in Nebraska, of course, but they actually play in the Big East, which I always find funny because it's that new Big East. So Caleb Joseph, not at Syracuse, but still in the Big East,
It's interesting, and the best time of the sports year, in my opinion, Stanley Cup playoff hockey is finally here, and the Rangers are taking on Pittsburgh Penguins again. Do you think they could beat them one more time this year?
It's interesting. I mean, I just said, the Penguins have lost to the Rangers the last 2 years in the playoffs, but the Penguins right now are the hottest team in the NHL. I think they've won something like 15 of 16 games, so could be tough for the Blue Shirts. Could be tough.
Thanks so much, Kevin. And coming up, we'll have one last look at your forecast.
Huntington! Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, Billy, I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
If you see news happening on campus in Syracuse or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom 315-443-1177 or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Coming up after the show tonight, don't be afraid to stick around and catch some more Citrus TV shows right here on OTN.
You can catch up on your sports news with Orange Press Pass, all your entertainment news with Unpeeled, and the nation's first Spanish-language news broadcast with Noticias.
And Rebecca is back here for our final look at our weather. Now, we know we're getting rain tonight. Will I need my rain boots tomorrow morning heading to class?
Tomorrow morning, it looks like it's going to be clear in the morning, but that rain is going to come in again tomorrow afternoon. So if you have an afternoon class, then you're going to want to put on the rain boots tomorrow morning.
So looking ahead to tomorrow evening, the rain comes through in the afternoon. Am I going to have my rain boots and my coat in the evening hours?
It should clear up by tomorrow evening, and then we have a pretty awesome week, weather-wise, no rain for the rest of the week. But tomorrow evening, you shouldn't need your rain boots tomorrow evening because the rain's going to clear up.
Okay, and looking into this weekend, I know you said we were going to see those 70-degree temperatures. Is the sun going to be out too, or is it going to be cloudy?
Yeah, the sun's going to be out this weekend. Right now, we don't see any rain on the radar, so I'm hoping it stays like that. It should be sunny skies all weekend, so hopefully it stays that way.
And going ahead to the rest of April, do you think that these sunny skies are going to stick around? Do you think we're hitting finally that nice spring weather?
I sure hope we're hitting that nice spring weather. We should see some partly cloudy skies several days throughout this month. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to be better than what we've seen.
That is definitely for sure.
So, Kathryn, I got to say, I'm a little sad, guys. It's National Pet Day, and I'm not with my favorite cat, Zuzu. I'm heartbroken right now.
Is your favorite cat Zuzu at home?
Yeah, all the way at home. I should have planned a trip home to visit, but
you have a dog too, don't you?
I have 2 dogs.
We discussed this. There's more love for the cat than the dog, isn't there?
I am a cat person all the way through. The dogs are not my favorite pets.
The ongoing debate. What about you two?
Definitely a dog person. I grew up actually scared of dogs, but I grew out of that. So now I have my own dog. Love him so much. No, not scared of him at all.
That's so. I'm definitely more of a dog person too. Dogs are just more active. I feel like. What is your cat reasoning here?
I don't know. My cat, she's not annoying. She lets me hang out with her. Like, we have kind of a good relationship. She's not always needing my attention, but she's around when I want to see her.
We talked about it earlier. You didn't have any pictures of your dog on your phone. You have any pictures of your cat on your phone, at least?
I have a picture of my cat with my little sister on the phone.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
You all heard about my dog's birthday on leap year, but I have the largest pet repertoire. I've had 2 cats, water turtles, hermit crabs, fish, so I'm the pet expert over here.
Oh my God. That's awesome. That's all for our show tonight. For more of the latest news, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and like our page on Facebook. I'm Josh Bazan.
And I'm Kathryn Robinson. Thanks for watching us and have a great night, Syracuse.